Hello! Happy holidays! Today we're going to digitize a beer bottle and cut a giraffe on the surface we digitize. This is an example of what I did a couple days ago. It's a giraffe, and it was done for a soldier who's in Vietnam. No, he's in Afghanistan. Where are we? We're back in the real world. He's in Afghanistan, and he wanted to give his girlfriend an engagement ring of some sort, and I made the wax model for the ring with the giraffe that they supplied. So here's to you guys. I'm home safe and sound. Good luck. Here we have the beer bottle we're going to cut the design on. We're going to take the beer bottle, put it in our 6-inch vise, and we have a stop here to rest the one end on, and sitting on the bottom here, and we're just going to tighten up the jaws. So we want to get this lined up so the label is centered, and we'll tighten up the vise. And beer bottles are relatively inexpensive and they're fragile, so it's a delicate thing. You over tighten the vise and you have pieces. Okay, now here's the tricky part. What we want to do is make sure that the digitizer and the cutter are aligned. And what we're going to do is mark the surface on the beer bottle, move the cutter to the surface, and then home the cutter. So what we're going to do is go to the cutter, and we're going to move the cutter down the surface. And we're going to touch it with the paper feeler gauge. Okay, there's our home. Now we're going to run the cutter over to the limit switch and zero out the cutter. And then return back to the cutter start position. So now we know that the cutter is aligned with the digitizer. Now we're going to go back to the digitizer. And we're going to digitize the surface. We're going to go 44 millimeters with 0 on the x-axis. We're going to go on the y-axis. We're going to go 8 on the maximum side to minus 8. Oops, on the minimum side. And we're going to do a grid size of 2 by 2. That should be plenty of accuracy. So we'll go ahead now and digitize the surface. An indication here which row we're on and which column we're on while we're digitizing. And over here there, it's actually indicating the surface distance, the surface height that it's touching off at. So this takes a while. We'll probably speed it up when we're played on the video, I don't know. I'm shooting this in two cameras, so we have one camera showing the digitizer operation and one camera showing the computer screen. Something new. You can see on this example I've redone the digitizer bar and moved the digitizer probe farther away from the cutter, and then I dropped the cutter down just to get more clearance on the bottle, so you can do this task without having to reset the mill configuration. It's kind of crazy because I don't really intend to do very many of these bottles, but it's important to have enough clearance so everything works and you don't have collisions. I mean, it's only taken me a week to figure this out. Fortunately, on this milling machine I have oodles of travel. I have 24 inches on the x-axis and about 13 inches on the y-axis, and it's just a matter of spacing the vise properly on the table. Not everybody has that luxury. So it'd really be nice to have a digitizing probe that you could swivel in position and out of position, or as what a lot of people do, they'll stick the probe in the spindle. Kind of hard with this spindle, but that's what most people do. We're going to take the digitized data and import it as a surface into Blender, and then project the Giraffe design using the shrink wrap modifier onto the surface, and then we'll make a toolpath off of the projected design, bring it back over here and run the file here. So let's go over and do that. Get that recording. It's recording. We're going to now bring up the file. And hold our breath. Looks like it's working. Oops, get to resume again. Either brush the cutter or I need to replace more points. Maybe brush the cutter. So here's the design. Got a few issues here, but it's still a work in progress. That's it for today.